I want to automate gold, but to do that, I need a crucial component of the create mod. Brass, a resource only accessible by capturing a blaze from the nether. But in my world, where I'm stranded on an island, I've decided to lock Minecraft's progression through challenges. Today, I want to unlock the nether by building a giant portal build that also doubles as a gold farm. If you're as excited as these two guys here behind me to see the new farms I'll be making with brass in the future, make sure to subscribe to not miss an episode and leave a like as it helps me out a ton. But before we get started working on today's project, I've got a bunch of chests laying around at previous projects filled with blocks that we need to clean up and bring back to the tent. Chests are very much restocked and sort of overflowing. Storage is definitely a problem we're gonna have to tackle very soon. Even got a few extra on the outside. They're actually not that filled, just a bunch of cobblestone at the bottom. First thing we'll need today is obsidian, and I have one. I guess 9 more, but I gotta mine them. Even with a efficiency 4 pickaxe, this still isn't that fast. That brings me up to 10, and I need about 80 pieces. So we gotta head down into the mines. Because even though we only need 10 pieces for a regular portal, since the challenge of unlocking the nether is building the portal build itself, I don't want to have a super small portal. Stacking 16, perfect. Let's head out of here. I forgot my shield. There are skeletons. Back up here, let's just grab maybe 4 chests. Should be enough. And we'll just head through this little pass here and down in this little area, because this is actually where I want to build our nether portal. And first on the list today is to dig. Luckily, this shouldn't take as long as it took me to dig out the library. Not only is this a smaller area to dig out, but I also have some enchanted gear now, making the process a lot easier. Continuing to clear out the terrain, where I'm envisioning this portal build resting against the mountainside, eventually being covered from above by grass and vegetation. I also want to make it feel like this structure, just like the ancient library, has stood here long before the villages and towns were built. Looking a lot better now with the terrain cleared out here, and I had it in an extra little room and this little path. And well, the rest of the reason I gathered up the obsidian earlier is because I want to get in the portal frames already. And no, I'm not going to be doing the corners. And like I said earlier, this is not going to be a tiny portal, that's for sure. But I also don't want this to be the only portal, because if we just get... Oh, no, I don't want to use obsidian scaffolding. As I was saying, if we just get on top of this and go 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 blocks up, coming back over to this side, there we have our portal shape. Hopefully, when we're actually coming through and from the nether, we're going to be using the bottom portal, and the top one is just decorational. But I'm starting to get the scale of this build. Okay, it's going to be pretty big. And as much as we can light this up now, and go and get our blaze burner and make the gold farm right now, the entire point of locking stuff behind builds is that I have to build the build before I can use it. So sadly we can't light this, and I also don't have any flint and steel on. But this room behind the portal will be a little gearing up room for the nether. It will have like a golden helmet, but I also want to probably in the wall here hide away the gold farm. And it's not going to be hidden, it's going to be hidden but with lore. We'll get back to that later. We got to do some material gathering for the actual portal build first. Wait, I just looked at this and realized it's not centered. This, I think, yep, this pillar is 1 block to the... 1 eternity later. There we go. Now we can go material gather. I've already mentioned that I want to make this another ancient structure, so let's see what rocks we have left over. I think we have enough deep slate laying around. Let's get a few stairs of that, some of those, and then we'll get a couple more deep slate bricks as well. I shouldn't need too much deep slate as I want to use a bunch more lighter tones. We do definitely have to restock on tough, but we'll do that in a second. Considering we have so much stone laying around from the last episode, we should definitely not have to mine more. Definitely not considering I just mined a bunch more. So let's see what we can put together. Another thing we can do, which I didn't realize we could do already, is actually hunt up some cobblestone, which gives us access to blackstone already. And I want to turn 4 of these into some chiseled polished blackstone, and we can chuck that in the chest. Few more stone materials together, but I put it off for a bit now. Let's go get some tuff. Surprisingly enough, I don't need a ludicrous amount of tuff for this build, but knowing me, I'll probably use it in the near future, so grabbing up a bunch of extra tuff today. Definitely more tough than I needed, but always good to have extra. Of course, not only going to need the regular tough, we're also going to need a bunch of tough bricks. Let's get some polished tough and even a bit of chiseled tough. We're on the final items now. We need to go share the sheep and grab some clay again. A clay farm is definitely something we're going to have to make soon. I guess, well, the gold farm will be making clay, so could grab it from there if we start running out. Grab the smelted terracotta now up at the 10, craft it in some black terracotta and give it another smelt where the heat somehow creates red specks. It's fine. It's fine. Makes sense. I'll also grab a bit of string and this dye I've kept in this box. Let's see. I should have honeycombs up here, which means we can craft candles. And we can dye some of these candles purple and some of them red. And that actually finishes up most of the material gathering. For the final thing, just waiting for a bit of andesite alloy to be made. Let's press down 16 iron ingots as well. 3 more casings here. Grab that. Let's craft up 4 propellers and then 4 encased fans. Of course, we need a few more create components, but that's the next step. This is just the portal build. First thing I want to get started on is grabbing a bunch of our tuff and working that into the middle here. If we just go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 more here just to top it off. This is going to be the entrance into this little room here behind. We'll get back to that room though. For now, I just want to continue extending this tuff up on either side. Where we've created a background for both portals. To start the actual structure, let's kick us off in this little corner down here. First our stone, moving into some light gray wool. Then for a little bit of a darker tint, we use polished tuff. We're quite limited on what blocks we can use for stairs when it comes to lighter blocks, so I'm going to pick some andesite for that and continue working on this structure here, where we are moving into a lighter palette with light gray concrete and then into clay even. I want to bring in some slabs here, and the lightest one I think we will use is our smooth stone, then the andesite again, and then the stone. This gives us something to work with. So based off the first side, I'm continuing the same palette to try and encase the left side of the portal, moving my way up in either 45 or 90 degrees until I reach the top of the obsidian frames. Looking pretty good despite the hole. Add in a little darker part as well as it kind of goes it farther into the mountain, but we can't see that far. Let's quickly just give this another ring, but with tough bricks this time. Then starting on the next part of the structure, coming in with some stairs up here as we are continuing all of this upwards to try and fill this gap I've created. To finish this off, we are using even more stairs right here at the top, bringing out some darker variants as well as we're moving into the mountain. Then working just a little bit of mossy cobblestone and a bit of regular moss, bringing out a couple of vegetation blocks here. I guess glow lichen doesn't really count. I mean, it is vegetation, but I don't really use it as that. Fixing up the hole made that look a whole lot better, and so that it fixed in the hole on the other side, added 1 more of those going in deeper into the mountain. And I think the base of this portal is actually starting to look really, really good. But next part, I again want to just grab our brick blocks, and this chest is becoming a mess so fast. And 2 of our encased fans. As just above this here, want to bring in our brick across, bit of glow lichen. Let's actually take these 2 out again and bring in 2 of those encased fans. And yep, it looks really, really odd with some encased fans in the middle of a well, ancient structure. There's 2 more up there, and that's because, well, this is going to be the gold farm, and I want it to seem like civilization has come and sort of taken over this. It's for the lore, and maybe they're using the portal's magic or something to create the gold. That part I'm not really sure about. While I'm finishing up the rest of this portal's main frame using the first palette I introduced. I wanted to ask if anyone had any fun lore aspects we can play around within this world. I always try and create some sort of lore through the builds I make. Quite clearly, we've already created lore in this build by adding in some industrial elements into this ancient structure. I've got to say, this is looking so cool. Sort of wish I did the library entrance in a similar style. Don't think I'll change it, but I'm tempted. Anyways, before we actually head and pop through into the nether, I want to do a bit more building. And we're going to need some tough bricks for this, and, well, a lot of tough. As the floor in this room in here, I want to use tough bricks. For the walls, we're going to continue with the tough, even encasing this little area right here. Quite a small room as this won't be the gold farm. This is just another room. Why not bring in a bit of chisel tough as well, and then some polished to connect that. Add in a roof, and then as I rounded this wall off here and made it a little darker, I want an armor stand in here, which will house a gold helmet for when I'm entering the nether. And then behind this is where the gold farm is going to be. So you're going to have to walk through the armor stand, which has the gold on it. Also added in these side murals here, where I just want to finish those off with some black stone. Always a pain in place to glaze terracotta, but it also just look kind of good in these things. Then we'll bring out our candles, light those up, and this is the people that I guess built this temple worshipping to the color red. Also, this pattern's right. This one's not. I had to go behind the wall, but yeah, that looks a lot better. And what I was saying is, well, the people that built this, and maybe even the little village and the people living on the island now, they're worshipping the color red to wish them luck in battle. This is a slight throwback to my current hardcore world that I haven't played for in a few months, but it's coming back. Don't worry for all of you who want to see that continue. It will come back. I'm just waiting for the right time. But in that world, I have a castle, and there they are worshipping the color red as well to bring them luck in battle. And well, that's what they're doing here, to bring them luck when they're going into the nether to, well, battle the nether. Yeah, it makes sense, okay? And well, this room actually completes the portal build itself. So according to the challenge, I could light this portal and we could venture into the nether. But first, 30 minutes of fishing before we light the portal. Gotta cast my luck and see what bites. And hey, while I'm out here reeling in fish, you could be reeling in fresh content. So why not take the bait and subscribe? And this is what we're left with. 3 more enchanted books. Actually, really bad. Looting 2 is okay if we can get another looting book. But the rest, it's really nothing to write home about. And the fishing rods, and I guess this bow and this one is alright. But the rest, no, this one has infinity. But I can probably get a better bow in the future. So, sorry you guys are taking a swim. I'm gonna keep the books because it feels like a waste to fill them out. I also keep getting so many saddles. Fishing stuff cleared away. And let's go ahead and grab a bunch of cobblestone, and I think we're ready to head into the nether. And actually, those bows would be pretty useful right now. Ooh, although I don't want to waste my levels right now. We might just go with an unenchanted bow. We have 50 arrows. This one can have a few shots, so we'll just bring this. Backside of this looks great, and I want to save my levels because I really want to try to get a fortune today because I just need fortune. But that's a little hard when you're not level 30, and I don't want to waste the levels. And I think quartz is going to be a really good... Oh, no, I thought I forgot the flint and steel. Okay, I'm going to light the top portal soon, but for now, let's give the bottom portal a light, and I did forget a helmet. Okay. Brought the armor stat with me as well, so we can place the iron helmet there for now. And, well, I guess head into the nether for the first time. Second time. But first official time where I can actually use the resources of the nether. Yeah, I do remember us having this in the distance, which is great. But first, actually, what we probably should do is let's just grab 4 netherrack, and then we'll head back through. We're just grabbing some iron. Let's go ahead and get our blaze burners right away. Craft that together if it's the right recipe. And we got 4 empty blaze burners. I think that's going to be enough for a bit at least. Another thing that did just cross my mind, since, well, we have access to that biome now, and I don't see the other biome, but we have access to 2 new wood types, both crimson and warped, which is great. Didn't even have to bridge over any lava to get to the nether fortress. This is great. Definitely one of the better nether spawns I've had recently, at least considering my last hardcore where I spawned in the middle of a lava lake. All right, I'm here for 4 blazes. It's actually about it. That's not okay. That's interesting. Oh, blaze burner. Perfect. Don't even have to go to anything dangerous. 4 blaze burners, and it's kind of all I need. I won't lie. I just need to get to the brass age so that we can get crushing wheels. Well, we are on the topic of the nether, though. Well, I guess this entire episode is the topic of the nether. Let's actually sort of try to get that fortune pickaxe. We just need to roll these trades, or these enchants. These are not trades, until we get fortune 3. That was very fast. We're not going to put it on a broken pickaxe, though, because that feels a little wasteful. But I have one more diamond left up at the tent. First, popping through to the nether, and then mining up a bunch of quartz. Not for the quartz itself, but of course for the levels we get from it. That really did not take long at all, as I don't even have 2 stacks of quartz yet. Grabbing that diamond here at the tent. Let's head down to the library. To really need to build a pathway between the rest of the town and the library itself. But obviously, I don't know how it's gonna look really, so I don't want to build something and with 99% certainty probably remove it in a bit. Grab those 30 diamonds there, though. And then where's the... Oh, do I not have a crafting table here? What if we just turn this guy into a crafting table? Yeah, that's perfect. Rubber diamond pickaxe, the lapis. Please also efficiency 4. Please also efficiency 4. Yes! That's so good. Okay, perfect. I'm not going to combine these just yet, but that's really, really good to have. Let's grab the blaze burner now that we've done that enchanting. And finally, we can bring this piece into the base that, well, has been planned for a while. Then if we just grab, let's see, 32 of each of these. Couple pieces of coal. Chuck these in here. Fire that guy up. Oh, I see brass in there. This is so exciting. All right, we need to prep some other things because we need to make some crafters. In this world, I actually want to have a proper setup for them, but we're not going to make that today. So like any of my worlds, we're going to have an improper crafting setup to get started with at least. Hopefully in this one, I won't keep it because I've done that in all my previous ones. Looks like we have enough redstone laying around to create ourselves 7 of these. That's 9, but okay, good counting stamp. Let's see, sugar cane, get that pressed into some paper. Crafting our first piece of sandpaper. Putting that in the offhand, and let's get to sandpapering. Ooh, pink diamonds. I don't know if I'd consider that, but sure. Looks like the brass is finished, and oh my god, 64 brass. That's amazing. Let's just get 8 pieces of these made up, and then grabbing 7 logs. Get some of this, and strip that down. Making our first brass casings. Should probably make a wrench soon, but yeah... Not today. Electron tubes at the bottom, brass casing in the middle, craft table. Craft table on the bottom, electron tubes on the top, gives us our 21 mechanical crafters. Let's just get this set up back here, make this space even uglier than it already is. And since I don't have the wrench, we gotta make sure that all of these are facing the correct way when I place them. Then for power, let's use a small coggle right here. And I actually want to try to just gear ratio this a little bit. So we're gonna put a large coggle right there. And hopefully I can do this once or twice more. I'm gonna try one more time. We got a little bit of room in here. Get a water bucket down. And a water wheel. And okay, I don't have a shaft on me, but oh, no, maybe a little too optimistic, huh? Okay, maybe I can gear ratio it once. Yeah, that's 8 speed at least. Got some andesite alloy put together. Let's bring out everything we need. Let's just see. This should all work. Bring that together and oh, it's 1 eternity later. And second set of crushing wheels today. Yeah, the crushing wheels won't be enough though, as we need more crate components. And I still have the gold helmet on. And I've got a lot of cobblestone left over from doing the digging I've done recently. So let's grab a bit of diorite. Grabbing a stack of cobblestone here on the way up. And if we just combine these two, we get double the andesite for, well, half as many mine blocks. Should probably start using iron instead of zinc now to combine this, but we'll throw a stack of each of those in there. And while we wait for that, yeah, we're gonna need a bit more wood. Arriving back at 10. Looks like that's finished. Let's throw in yet another stack to be made and get to crafting. We're gonna obviously need to power this, and I'm not gonna power this as, well, fast, or this is not gonna be spinning as fast as the iron farm did. Instead, I want to try to power this at 128 RPM instead of 256, because that's gonna save on a lot of water wheels. Because if my math is correct, then I'm gonna need about 20 water wheels for this farm to run. Let's get a couple of andesite casings made up here. We're probably gonna need a few more than this eventually, but this is a good start. We're gonna need to craft up 2 mechanical presses. Can I craft 6 drills? Yes, I can. A millstone, easy enough. And then 30 propellers. That together with some shafts create us 30 encased fans. Perfect. Then a few more components so we can hook all of this together. Final 2 things, 45 volts and a few metal girders. Materials moved over. Just gonna grab these buckets and pop through to the nether real quick, as I've got one final resource to get, and that's a bit of lava. And I talked about it not too many episodes ago that I was a little worried of running out of lava, but that was a very short-term problem, as now we have access to the nether. We have access to well, all the lava we could ever need. So let me just yoink a few of these. First part of today though, oh wait, I forgot something. We need to make a new tool. As what I was going to say is that the first thing I want to make is an elevator. And for that, of course, we need a bit of glue. And I even found a few slimes in a cave not too long ago. So I got a few slime balls. First time I think I haven't had to just make slime with the create recipe to get my first stick of glue. For now though, let's grab a water wheel, some andesite casing and cogwheels along with a few redstone bits. And just dig ourselves into the wall a little bit here. A little digging here now. Cleared out enough space for us to get a water wheel in. Start spinning that. And then some cogwheels, working our way upwards. That's why we needed the casings. With this one up here, we should get up to 64 RPM. Bringing our gear shift right here. Then redstone dust, pulse extender. This going up to that block. We're gonna have a button right here, and this is gonna stay active for 7 seconds, I think. Now if we click that button, that spins the other way for 7 seconds. Perfect. What we need to work on now is getting 9 of these gantries in. That was 30, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Placing this on there shouldn't make it go down. Perfect. Now let's just clear away a bit more space. Already got a few casings in up here, just extending down some black stone. Connect that up, and then a bit of parkour around to get that piece, connecting that down. And that's pretty much the elevator itself. Want a few more details on top, but we'll get that sorted in a second. The walls in here are just going to be black stone all around. Shouldn't need to do anything for the floor, but let's get this extended up. Right here at the tip, we'll just replace the blackstone with some of our tuff. And now, right, there's no way down. It's a future stamp problem. But now I just want to test so that if I click this button right here, we can even repair the wall here. We can step into the elevator. It's come down, and then now it's going back up. Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna need a way to get down as well, and probably just replace this side with some blackstone to make it look a little prettier in here. Probably run and get a redstone link to just hook that up a little later. For now, let's focus on clearing terrain for the gold farm. I don't think I'll need a ton of gold, so therefore not a ton of space for this farm. Of course, we need a floor, so I want to create a very simple one out of cobblestone. I'm not going to put too much effort into the walls of this room either, just stacking up a bunch of tuff here around the cobblestone base. Simple roof slapped on that, and well, part of the room is missing, but that's because I want to hide away some create components. Because I want to add in a bit of lore, I guess, into this factory, with it looking like it's extracting resources from the nether. But of course, we're not doing that, so we need a bunch of behind the scenes work. To start our create components, I want to start at, well, the power of it all. We're gonna get some encased chain drives going across right here, and this is going to be our 2 lines of water wheels hidden in the walls. And then let's get the water in, actually, just because then we don't have to worry about this after the fact. And then we can stretch these 2 back. Bringing out our cogs and casings, we should start to be able to just gear shift this, right? Or gear ratio this to around that. That looks to be 128. What I want to make in this part of the factory that's hidden is the terracotta. So we're going to be bringing in stone right here. We'll get a barrel, just have a little bit of an overflow, and then we'll do an input funnel right here and an output there. This means, oh, right, I don't have a wrench still. Yeah, okay, wrench is, Probably something I should get very soon. I do know that's very useful to have for situations like this. Got the belt out here just a little bit, and a few things has to happen on this. First of all, we're going to use one crushing wheel right here, and we're going to get in a second pair of them to turn the gravel into sand. Right at the end here, if anything were to overflow, let's just get that in. And when you're crushing gravel into sand, you get 30 outputs. First one being flint, which in this case we have no reason to keep. We get it from the iron farm already, and it's also, well, useless for this farm. Clay is actually super useful, so we're going to keep that. And then we also, of course, get our sand. I'm going to output the sand right here, lay in the middle, and then the flint there. Flint is going to be super simple for ourselves. We're just going to bring that down and light a fire there. This part of the farm is where we're going to be turning our clay balls into blocks to make it into terracotta. So we're going to get our basin in there and a metal press above that. Then we're going to do an input funnel right here. Let's get a few more bits and bobs there. That's going to drop down where we need to wash the sand, because when you wash the sand, you have a chance for clay. We're going to get a encased fan right there. Let's mine out a few blocks here in the back. Water bucket, water wheel. Is that spinning? That's spinning the right way. Just encase that a little bit and get a water bucket placed in there. That's not going to be washing the sand. Just need to set up a filter to only accept clay balls into that basin. Next up, I want to set up another fan, because obviously we need to turn these clay blocks into terracotta. So we're going to get our water wheel there. That's pushing the right way. Perfect. So this way is going to be our output leading back into the main part of the factory. Or I guess this is kind of the main part, because this is where most of it's happening, but the visible parts. I'm going to get a brass funnel in here. Oh, wrong one. Can't jump down here because I won't get back up. Inputs. This is going to be accepting terracotta. Let's quickly grab one of our lava buckets to place in here. Then chutes right there. And to bring the items out of this is also where we're going to power everything. We'll bring that in. That goes up, almost hits that, but then it goes back down right there. And I think just a block to block that off. Yeah, just a few gearboxes, shafts, and encased chain drives to hook it all together. That leads to everything spinning. So let's grab a bit more chuff and cover this side of the thing up. The factory or the farm, because this isn't really a factory. It's a farm. Ooh, I'm inside the crushing wheels. That's not good. We're not going to put in all of the decoration for it now, but I might as well fix these holes in the wall by adding in some obsidian. There we go. And we're going to be working backwards, as if I build a cobblestone generator, which is going to go up here first. Then I'm just going to have items spewing all over the place without anywhere for them to end up. And I'm thinking right here in the corner, we're going to have our vault. Input for this is going to be right here. Do I have the depot on me? Nope. It's in the chest, where we are going to be outputting items here, inputting there. And it looks like I've very much miscalculated how many funnels I did. Back at the tent, at least we have brass left over. And oh, we have 4 electron tubes as well. Okay, perfect. Have the resources, just didn't craft them. 8 should definitely see us to the end of this project. Back here, got our final basin added in, mechanical press on top of that, and this different outputs. So this is where we're gonna have the red sand, and so we need an encased fan right here. Then we're gonna have a belt going out from this trapdoor, just bordering that off a little bit. Have a gearbox down there, and then an encased chain drive going up, connecting up to that. We'll eventually probably connect that up to the cobblestone gen. Just to stop being pushed, we'll get our millstone in right there with a funnel, and this is gonna have a list filter as well, set to, well, red sand. And oh, we got to bring in our water as well. For the dead bushes, I actually want to keep these, as they could be fun to decorate with, and since I don't have access to a desert, this is actually one of my only sources of them, if not the only. So I have some hoppers and a barrel. Let's get the barrel in there. Hopper's running this way, and I wanted the barrel in the floor, and I didn't want to use a whole lot of space, or well, I didn't want it going down mainly, so I came up with this little thing. It's interesting. Basically, items will roll off here. We can demonstrate this with throwing in a belt. Items will roll off here and then instantly be sucked up by the hopper and put in the barrel. If this were to ever fill up, it's not going to back up the system, because well, if the hopper's full, it's just gonna roll off the edge and into the fire instead. And definitely not a safety hazard with fire in the middle of the room. Nope. Okay, fine. I'll encase the fire just a little bit. Millstone area finished off here, where we're getting the terracotta from behind here, turn that into red sand, and then, well, using the whole system that we just built. And if we just go, oh, I already have the mechanical drills. I do need some of these guys though. Oh, and well, the lava buckets. Let's get ourselves up to the ceiling. Extend this guy out just one block right there. Grab some encased chain drives, run them across. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6 drills. Final 2 will go up right here, and this will be, well, the belt collecting the cobblestone. Going into this portal. Actually, I don't love the fact that that doesn't go through the middle of it. So let's just extend this out one guy. Grab our belt back, and we'll just connect it out here instead. And actually, that makes more sense up there. Okay, perfect. As well, we want to have the drills right here. There we go. This might be a little tedious here. Oh, the drills hurt. They very much hurt. Okay, sorry. Want to get a trapdoor in, though. And a few more. This is going to hold our water. Okay, note to self, don't go close to the drills. I actually had no idea that they hurt you. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that they do. But I didn't know. Get a back panel on these guys as well. And then a front one as well, so that the water doesn't spill out everywhere. This allows us to get our side stairs in. We close that. And we can waterlog these. Right. Everything is waterloggable. Okay, enough struggling. Let's light this place back up. Oh, I put the fire out. Okay, this part might be a little unrealistic, but this is how we're gonna hold the lava at least. We're gonna just do metal girders on top of here and on top of these. Then we don't need lava on all of these. We're just gonna have a copycat piece on either end. And when we add in the lava, this should actually start, well, working. Although I kind of gotta hook up the belt over here, don't I? Yep. Looks like I managed to sort that out too. So let's get back up here and actually add in the lava. And then we can finish off the detailing. This one's a lot easier because it doesn't, well, there's no waterlogging happening. And oh, that's definitely working. It would be nice if they're, you know, synced, but it doesn't really matter. They probably will sync when I relog. But we should probably check if everything's working, actually. I'm hearing bonking over there, which is good. That should mean that we are getting terracotta here soon. Yep, then getting terracotta. That means that works. This goes into here. This is, yep. Then we have red sand out there. And I should start seeing, yes, piece of gold. And eventually a few dead bushes in here as well. But that's working. Okay, now let's focus on these portals. Obviously, I can't light them for real because, well, there's a belt going through it. I could probably do some things with schematic cannons to make that work, but I'm not gonna bother. Instead, the idea I have here is I've grabbed up a bit of amethyst and I've got some glass. If we just build up a little bit here and we cover the actual portal blocks with the glass, just completely like that, and then everything behind this can be the amethyst. I'm hoping that will cover it enough. And yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Let's get that in on this one as well. Few more details into the roof here now just to finish this off and make it feel a little more completed. I was gonna add in a lantern, but I forgot it. And the lava and fire actually lights up the place really nicely, so I don't think it's even needed. But we have gold. Not a lot of gold, but we have gold. And 2 dead bushes. I'll call that a win. I just gotta sort out a way out of here too. I've added in the down button for the elevator, and I'm on to finishing off the build. We can't have an ugly mess on the top side, so bringing down some terrain to connect with the top edge of the portal. Lot better. And well, I want to actually connect this path down. I'm probably not going to connect it up all the way to my current paths. I guess that one isn't even connected to anything, but I do want to bring it down the mountain, and we need to have even more terraforming blocks for that. And let's see, I have, okay, well, that's not a lot of dirt. Let's start with coarse dirt then. Got some extra graveling around right there, getting ourselves some coarse dirt. And then let's see, I need a bit of jungle. These are the blocks I'll need for the pathway itself, so I think if we try to get that in first, maybe we get some more dirt, so we don't have to mine as much. I want the path to snake its way up the mountain, something like this. It's always nice to have a little bit of a reference working on these sort of things to help you along the way. For now, I'm sticking with that common path we've used before with the coarse dirt and jungle slabs, and maybe we'll come back in the future and detail this a bit more when we have more resources available. This is definitely a whole lot better than climbing up the side of the mountain. Had to dig a little bit here, and I found this little cave earlier that we brought the path through, and well, we reached the portal. I still need to light the second portal. I can probably do that now, actually. Oh, me, I'll forget otherwise. Really wish there was a way to get rid of the pigmen. I guess I could make a trap with turtle eggs and stuff, and they're not that annoying, though. Maybe I'm just too lazy to do that. Maybe future stamp problem, right? I definitely ended up using more dirt for the coarse dirt than I got back, but I did remember about these chests, and that should be enough dirt. Okay, perfect. I'm obviously gonna need a fair bit of stone because, well, the path is floating quite badly at the moment, and I want to form some boulder-esque shapes, so we're gonna need a fair bit of stone. Not this much, but might as well smelt up a fair bit. And while that's being worked on, if we just head up this pathway a little bit, I've got my moss farming area. And yeah, I want to use some moss as well in the terrain, mainly to keep the grass colors more similar. There's a river running through the area, and the river grass and the jungle grass, they don't mix too well. So hopefully with a bit of moss, we can figure this out. Looks like my hoe has ran out. So, and I still need, like another stack of this. So it's hand mining, I guess. Before we grab the stone, let me think. Where's my food? Where did I put it in? I think I brought back some food. Okay, well, we have a stack here. I need more food. Well, that's cooking. We can run over here and, well, it's not done, but this is definitely enough. Even this is probably more than enough. Doesn't hurt to have extra though. Just gotta remember that there's a couple of stacks of smooth stone in there. Quick stop at the base, grab my food, and I'm back at the project site to kick this terrain off. I decided to not do any texturing to this terrain yet, as I don't have access to all the blocks I eventually want to use. And instead of having to redo the texture later, giving myself a blank canvas, but most importantly, not leaving a floating path in the world. Currently, the pathway just ends off here where we started it earlier, but at least it's structured, and I really, really like the shape of these rocks. Can't wait to get some texturing on them, but I'm so envisioning this entire mountain eventually to be transformed into this landscape, and I just can't wait for it. But for now, I'm extremely happy with the progress to both the terrain that we've done today, but also towards my progression in this world. Unlocking Nether is a huge step in progress, as I now have access to brass, and it will literally change this world forever. I also can't complain about having access to all the gold I could need. And it's also that time where this episode comes to an end. I'm super, super excited to keep working on this world, and I think something we're going to tackle very, very soon is a workshop, because I'm quickly outgrowing my storage, and well, I need a wrench as well, and I think I'm going to craft my first wrench in this world after I've built an entire workshop. It feels more fitting that I've engineered something that could help me out when I'm building the farms after that, but that's a future episode. So thank you so very much for watching this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.